Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. Click the bell icon for notifications to know when I go live. If you appreciate the content, make sure to give me a follow on the Twitterverse. You can also find me on YouTube. You can even find me on Instagram and TradingView. It's one word, Crypto Bull God. To answer Three Musketeers questions here, question in the comment box, we will not be looking at track today. That was one I actually forgot to chart yesterday. Today's purpose, the sole purpose behind the live stream and why I am charting, or why I'm going live at a different time is the monthly candlesticks have just closed out on all of the charts. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. It's going to be June 1st tomorrow. I am anticipating, as you know, June to be a very important and big month. If Bitcoin is to achieve new all-time highs this year, and at the levels that I have indicated in prior live streams, June needs to be a big month, right? I am anticipating June to be a big month. This is one of the more important live streams to tune into because, again, this is going to give you a level of appreciation on a higher time frame what's going on inside the charts. A lot of what goes on inside this community, not this channel, not this community. I know you guys are smarter than this. But we pay attention to this day-to-day volatility, chip-chop bullshit. It's important to zoom out, get in your little private jet, go above the woods, and take a whole holistic view of the entire forest instead of going into the forest and just seeing the trees in front of you, okay? So we're going to look at charts that make the most sense. It's funny, I actually have a chart up that is tracked, but we are going to take a look at the charts that make the most sense to look at monthly data where there's enough price data. Certain projects like the Holy Crypto Trinity, HBAR1 and Mana, not enough price data there on a monthly basis to draw any meaningful conclusions. Some of these charts require an extra year, year and a half, maybe even 2 years of price data to really start looking at monthly views with something a little bit more significant, perhaps something we will take a look at next year. But for this year, I have the charts up that I sort of want to take a look at. The other thing I want to caveat with you guys real quick as everyone is jumping on the live stream. Today's live stream is not going to be as focused on TA Q&A. I don't know that there's going to be that much time for questions and answers related to technical analysis. But I am mindful that I do value your input and your questions. And so tomorrow's live stream will have a whole lot of time focused on whatever you'd like me to chart, whatever you'd like me to take a look at. But today, I think the most important thing I can do and the most value I can bring to you since you're tuning in is to help educate you on the key things I'm seeing in these charts here. Evan, welcome in. Glad to have you part of the live stream. I had tweeted out earlier, yes, we are going to take a look at XRP. Of any of the charts that I have up here, XRP to me looks like it is the most bullish on a monthly closing basis. So we will certainly be taking a look at that. Hit the thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. No, don't hit it, crush it, please, would appreciate it. This is the monthly close on Bitcoin. Let's see how we closed out here. We closed out around 27,000. We closed out at 27,200. So the price indicators are really what I was looking for here. Okay, so this is ideally what we wanted to see. Let's actually level set what we're seeing on the price action first. Let's get these out of the way. Now, first off, we had 4 consecutive green candles, right? So not surprising that at some point we're going to have a red candlestick. Not the end of the world, right? We had this huge, momentous, bullish, double, triple, quadruple bullish engulfing candle here, followed by this indecision candle and then a monumentally bullish candle in March. When a lot of people were pessimistic, in March we had this massively bullish candle. So for a moment, if we can just take a look at this chart and zoom in, what do we have here? Let's just really, just in the most simplistic way, what do we have here? We have a large move up, followed by a small amount of consolidation, another large move up, and now we're getting some consolidation. Guys, there's nothing concerning going on. Remember, I had said several live streams ago, you know, what we wanted to see on a candle body closing basis was just to maintain a level above this green line here at about 25,200. We closed at 27,200. We are completely fine, okay? Now, the other thing that I wanted to point to, that I was very anxious to see how we would close out the month, let's look at the MACD. Look at how this MACD has flattened and it's beginning to curl up. Now, what should happen, okay, if June plays out as I'm anticipating it playing out and we get a monumental surge in price up to that 35, 38, even greater, maybe even $40,000 or $42,000 level this month, what's going to happen in here is this MACD is going to cross positive. You're going to see the histogram turn green, and you're going to see this thing trigger above zero either this month or next month. By the end of this monthly close, if June is as bullish as I'm anticipating, you're going to see this thing cross above the zero trigger line. So very, very, very encouraging to see. Stochastic RSI is extremely healthy. We're at 75 over 65, well above the trigger line and positive. And our RSI is an extremely healthy level at 50. Has plenty of room to run to the upside. The other thing I'd like to call to your attention is it looks like I have called out a key area of price confluence on the RSI. Now, this is actually really critical here. You can see that I've called out a couple key areas of price confluence on the monthly here for Bitcoin around 46 to 50. Okay, so the idea is we'd like to get above 50. The RSI right now is hanging out at 49.5. Okay, so we're about as close to 50 as we're going to get. Again, if June comes in as positive as I am anticipating it coming in, this motherfucker is going to be above 50, and we're going to continue to move our way up going into the summer and fall time. So very, very exciting, very, very healthy bullish close on the monthly for Bitcoin. Now, the next thing I wanted to do is I just want to focus on the total cryptocurrency market cap. We're not going to look at total 2 or total 3. I want to just look at the total market cap, and I want to ask the question, how healthy is the current trend? Okay, let's zoom out for a moment. First off, gain a level of appreciation. DT, glad to see you in here, brother. Good morning to you. Top of the morning, sir. Hope you have a cup of cafe there, sir. What is unhealthy about what's going on within this price action? We were in a massive falling wedge, okay? Keep perspective. We broke out of the falling wedge. We back tested prior descending resistance as support, and we've just been accumulating. We have several areas of resistance here that we need to break above, but all we've done, if you just look, again, just reasonably looking at this thing, we made this massive move up, and we've since just been consolidating. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just consolidation. That's all this is. There's nothing crazy going on. There's nothing bearish going on. This is very healthy. What I didn't want to personally see, okay, in this chart or the Bitcoin chart, was a continued unsustainable move to the upside, because if that were to happen, it's more likely that we get some sort of premature top, further consolidation into our move up. What we're seeing right now are more healthy. It's a more healthy structure that is being built in the chart of higher highs and higher lows. This is good if we want the parabola to ensue later at a higher level, which will ultimately lead to a higher all-time high than otherwise would be ensued if we started running into that steepened parabola right now. Okay, now looking at the price indicators, these are very critical too. We need these things to turn around. We had a dark cross here on the MACD. You can see this MACD, once again, it is flattened out. It has completely flattened out, and the histogram is turning very, very light red here, okay? So again, if we get that bullish month, kind of looking at the total cryptocurrency market cap, what's realistic that we could expect? If we get the bullish month that I am anticipating for the month of June, that is going to take a lot of people by surprise, okay? If we get that month, this MACD, I think the best thing that we could anticipate here is for these to start to kiss and be very close to crossing above zero going into July, August timeframe. Very, very healthy. How about the RSI? RSI is just under 50. It's at 48.5. So it's at a relatively neutral level. Stochastic RSI looks monumentally healthy, 60 over 48. So again, monthly close on total market cap looks awesome. Now let's get to, we're going to jump to Ethereum before we get to XRP. A couple things I want to point out here on Ethereum. Now, I'm pointing to historically what has been a key moving average to get above, which is the exponential, the 15 exponential moving average. That's that blue line. You can see anytime price is below the moving average, we have significant downside. This was sort of a little bit of a fake out here back in June of 2019 when we had that small parabolic run, which was really our wave one top in the Elliott wave cycle. But closes below here are pretty bearish, right? Once we resume, you can see once we get candle body closes above this 15 EMA, we like to ride it all the way up into new all-time highs, right? So right now, what I like to see for Ethereum, and again, we had this monumental move up and we're just consolidating right now. Price action on a candle body closing basis, thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. Candle body closes are remaining above the 15 exponential moving average. Very, very bullish to see here, okay, that we're maintaining price levels. What would have had me say, the chart isn't as strong as I otherwise wouldn't have liked to have seen if we started getting closes down in this area around, looks like below 1830, right? Right now, or about 1820, depending where this moving average is at. Bottom line, we maintain price levels above 1800. If you've been here consistently on this live stream, we tend to hit on a lot of the key things over and over and over again. What have I been saying for Ethereum? Okay, and it lines up with this chart as well. We've looked at the weekly chart on Ethereum, and we've said, let's maintain price levels above 1800. We've done that. It's bullish. It's consolidating. I'm expecting a very large move in Ethereum, which will give confidence and liquidity to a lot of the other altcoins, all of the altcoins. A rising tide lifts all boats. So I have the price levels, same price levels we've spoken to here in the past, kind of laid out as resistance we need to break above. And again, looking at a price indicator basis and actually working in reverse here, you can see the stochastic RSI is extremely healthy. We're at 71 over 55. RSI is at a very healthy level. It's actually a little higher than Bitcoin. It's at 51. The MACD, again, if we get June coming in where I'm anticipating, this thing is going to cross by the end of the month here. We are just below zero. This thing is flattened out. It's starting to curl up. Ethereum looks monumentally bullish, and it looks primed. It looks primed for a massive move up, okay? Let's get into XRP, because XRP to me is presenting the most bullish setup of any of the charts that we're actually going to take a look at here. Now, why do I say that? Well, first off, price is king, okay? The price action is king. And if we look at this candlestick, do you guys know what this candlestick is? This is a hammer candlestick, okay? Green hammer candlestick. This is the clear sign of a trend reversal. Your last opportunity, in my opinion, to buy XRP in the 30-cent range was this month, okay? We got a quick volatility spike down to 36 cents. That was your last chance, okay? We're also above, I tried to find a moving average that made sense on this chart, and I stuck with the 10 simple moving average. You'll see on a few other charts, we're gonna look at the 10 simple moving average. Because we're using a higher time frame, and because there are fewer candlesticks, because we're using a higher time frame, that implies there are fewer candlesticks. So a lot of the higher moving averages, like the 200 or the 50, they're irrelevant. There's just not enough price data, right? So 10 simple moving average is what I chose to opt with here. And you can see typically when we've gotten above this moving average, that's when it has presented us with a massive buying opportunity. You can see for the past 3 months now, we've maintained price levels on a closing body basis above the 10 simple moving average, so that's bullish. The other thing that is very bullish about this chart, or about the monthly close that I did want to hit on, and again, if you've tuned into the live stream, you know this, I've spoken to the weekly. We're not going to look at it, but what did I talk about on the weekly chart? Let's get back above 50 cents. Why 50 cents? That's a psychological level, but that's not the reason. The reason is because the 200 simple moving average is at approximately 50 cents. We closed the month at basically 52 cents. Very bullish. We're above the 200 SMA on the weekly. Look at the price indicators. Now, this is another reason why I'm so bullish on this thing. RSI is at 50. Look at the MACD. It's ahead of Bitcoin and debatably ahead of Ethereum, because Ethereum, even though it's not kissing on the MACD, it's closer up to zero. But the MACD is about to cross on the monthly for XRP. There is no one indicator that tells you anything, but this is a monumentally bullish indicator and sign for XRP. Anytime, important for a key takeaway for you guys to walk away from the live stream with, anytime you're assessing a higher time frame like a monthly or even a weekly or 2-week chart, when certain bullish activity starts to take place on the chart, on the price indicators, in the price data as well as the price indicators, it is monumentally more significant than looking at a daily chart or a 12-hour chart or even a 3-day chart. These higher time frames, when things really begin to turn around on those price indicators and price data, it is giving you a huge signal that things are, what is the term I'm looking for? This is the problem with live streaming. You lose your thought. Things are turning in the opposite direction, right? We've been in this massive downtrend, but there's a pivot point here that's taking place to resume the trend back up and change the trend direction here, okay? RSI is at 50. Stochastic RSI is extremely healthy, 78 over 66. This thing to me is primed. If June, okay, let's be realistic. What could we anticipate for XRP this month if June is a really bullish month, okay? I think that we could smash through the 58.5, the 66, and start heading up towards 83 cents to $1. I think this month it is quite possible. I think it is a realistic expectation that if June is a bullish month, we could start heading up towards 83 cents to $1. Would be monumentally bullish, okay? So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Sister coin XLM isn't expressing as much strength. You know, it's interesting. I drew the 10 simple moving average. The only reason I said not as much strength is because the closing bodies are under the 10 simple moving average here. Really interesting because I've drawn this. I've shared this chart with you guys for a long time now on Twitter and YouTube. This is a cup and handle. Whether it plays out or not is another story. And it's actually textbook because in this cup here, you see the volume peaks here. You see the volume bar down here, it peaks here. And then the volume decline. See how we have declining volume here? It's all taking place in the handle. This is a textbook cup and handle. Now, what I have shown is the technical target. The technical target for XLM takes it well above $2. It seems, I will say, gut check, it seems like XLM from current levels doing a 26x or 25x is a little bit of a reach, but maybe not. I mean, this is a technical target that's drawn based on this cup and handle formation. So it's something to keep an eye on. It's certainly quite possible that XLM could pull a 25x and go all the way past $2. It's possible. Looking at the price indicators here, you can see the MACD is actually starting to really turn around here. For some reason, the histogram isn't shown here. I don't know why. MACD is starting to turn around here. It's flattened out. Looks like it might want to cross positive very soon, depending how June comes in. We do have a little bit of distance here to cover. We do have a little bit of distance here to cover to get above zero. Okay, we're not quite as close as XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Some of these smaller alts, and I think what this clearly displays to you is, even though this is in the midst of a turnaround, some of these smaller alts, what happens is they will have their runs a little bit later than some of those higher market caps and after Bitcoin. So it makes sense that some of the price indicators aren't turning as quickly. Plus, they're more volatile assets. They've had more downside risk associated with them that has played out in the chart. They also have more upside potential. Okay, there's more opportunity. So it makes sense intuitively. RSI is a little oversold at 42, and stochastic RSI looks extremely healthy, 50 over 45. So not as bullish as the prior couple charts. Want to see this thing get above the 10 SMA. Really want to start seeing it push back above 10 cents, which is a psychological level. It would also push it back above the 10 simple moving average on the monthly. Let's take a look at Cardano. Now, Cardano is another one that is expressing a moderate degree of solid strength here. Again, we are 10 simple moving average when we've been above, besides this fake out and our little run here back in the spring of 2019. We've been below bearish. Once we resume candle body closes above the 10 simple moving average, we have monumental rise in price here. We've just started to consolidate above this 10 simple moving average, which is bullish. It's at 37 cents, okay? I've spoken about other areas of resistance up here that we need to smash above. The thing I want to focus on are the price indicators. You can see here, RSI is still relatively oversold. There's a lot of room, a lot of strength that needs to pick up, and still momentum that can build in this chart because the RSI is only at 43. Stochastic RSI looks healthy. It's 49 over 39, so it's looking good. But look at this MACD. Again, very similar. I would say this view, very similar to XLM because these are practically kissing. They flattened out. We have a little little bit of room to run up to this 0, right? So we might not get above that 0 trigger line for Cardano and XLM going into, it might take us till August or September. So we'll have to remain patient. But this is clearly in the middle of a turnaround, and we're seeing some healthy consolidation above a key moving average here, which is good to see. On a candle body closing basis, you just want to see us maintain price levels where they're currently at. So we'd want to see the month close no lower than approximately 37 cents. Okay, but again, I'm anticipating June to be a bullish month. So, I would anticipate if June is as bullish as I'm anticipating, you could see a push up here towards 60, 76 cents or perhaps higher. So we'll have to keep an eye. Doge. Doge is one that's just been in some massive consolidation. Again, drew out the 10 simple moving average to express this is a little bit more of a volatile asset. When it moves, kind of like Digibyte. Kind of reminds me of Digibyte, which we're going to take a look at. This thing spends this real long time consolidating and accumulating, and it weeds a lot of people out. You can see here a kindergartner could see the parallels within pattern recognition here. I don't need to spell this thing out. We've spoken about it before. But typically when we do get candle body closes above the 10 simple moving average, you can see we see escalations in prices. You can see back here. You can see here. Right now we're under the 10 simple moving average. I really want to see it break. I really want to see Digibyte. Yeah, I really want to see Doge get above this 10 simple moving average. And what would coincide with that, is the June candlestick even printed? Is this thing refreshing? That's kind of, I don't see the June. Oh, this is on Bittrex. Maybe it has something to do with that. What am I doing? I'm fumbling around here. Here we go. Okay, for whatever reason, it hasn't printed yet. I don't know, but it's going to print soon. Point is, I want to get above the 10 simple moving average, which is at 8.3 cents. Now, getting above this 8 cent, 8.5 cent area, it's also going to coincide once we get a candle body close. It's also going to coincide with breaking this descending resistance. That's really what's going on with, I keep wanting to say Digibyte, which we're going to get to soon. That's really what's going on with Dogecoin. We just had this major descending line that we need to break through. I've been on record saying this thing isn't really going to drop substantially from where it's at. I kind of have these areas of a buy zone opportunity between 6.9 and 6.1, which did get filled earlier this month. I don't think we're going to go lower than that. So that was your opportune time to get in at lower price levels. But again, we have increasing higher lows here. And it's really just, it's setting up in this triangular formation, and it's got to make a decision here. It's got to make a decision. I mean, a couple different things it could do. It could either break up, it could go down, or it could go sideways. Sounds like I'm stating the obvious, but really, there's a probability for all three scenarios. Again, if June is as bullish as I'm suspecting it's going to be, I would expect a pretty sharp rise in price in June. Let's look at the price indicators. So, where's the 0? Oh, this is the 0 trigger line. Why would I draw that red? That's pretty stupid. Let's draw that 0. What I'm doing there. Okay. So the good news is we're very close to the 0 trigger line. The not so good news, or I wouldn't say it's not good news, but yeah, you can see this MACD just hasn't flattened out yet. I want to see the MACD flatten out and begin to curl up. We're very close to the trigger line, which is good, but I want to see this thing flatten out a little bit more. We need a little bit more exuberance and excitement to come into this thing. RSI is a little oversold at 45, and the stochastic RSI actually has a negative cross, okay, 33 below 37, expressing some weakness here. The thing I would encourage you, if you are a holder of Doge, is to keep in mind what I said. This thing likes to do this for a long period of time and then shoot up in value, okay? So we've been doing this for a period of time. Wouldn't surprise me for it to perhaps lag a little bit, do this for a little bit of time, and then just begin to shoot up. I think Doge is going to go well north of $1. So if you're in this, never financial advice, but my best suggestion is to remain patient. Litecoin, okay? Litecoin, again, 10 simple moving average. Historically, when we've been above, you can see candle body closing basis, bullish, bearish. This was a sharp rise bullish. We got below it, bearish price action. We got back above it, bullish. What have we been doing? We've been consolidating above the 10 SMA since January, okay? We've maintained candle body closes above the 10 SMA, which is very bullish. Also, the 10 SMA is beginning to curl up. Litecoin looks like it wants to make a significant move. Now, we have this descending resistance we need to close, get above, right? Again, if June comes in as bullish as I'm anticipating, we're sitting at 91. I would not be surprised one bit for Litecoin to make a move all the way up into this area around 129 to 145. Okay, let's call it 130 to 145. All right, would not be surprised one bit. We actually on the monthly, check this out, on the MACD, we got a positive cross. Didn't even see that, didn't even really pay attention to that prior to the live stream. Although we still have a little bit more ways to go to get above the trigger line, it's very positive to see. I don't know why the histogram isn't on the MACD here, but very positive to see on Litecoin that we got a positive cross on the MACD. Again, positive crosses on a higher time frame is much more significant than the lower time frame. So very good to see. Want to get above this zero trigger line. RSI is hanging out at 49, all right? Still technically a little oversold, but sort of a neutral level. It's right around where Bitcoin's at. And the stochastic RSI is 76 to 61. To me, this is looking very healthy for a potential large move up towards 129 to 145 soon. Looking good. Digibyte, okay, to all my Digibulls out there. Similar commentary that I would say to DOGE, okay? This is not a healthy monthly close. I am not digging this this monthly close one bit. We can actually see we have descending resistance here. I mean, we got above. I have a 10 simple moving average once again. You can see when we're above it, large moves, we're below it, bearish moves, we're above it, big moves. We've been below it for a while, and what I didn't like to see on Digibyte was we got above it here, and I was feeling uber bullish. And I was thinking, we're going to be seeing a large move up in Digibyte very soon because we broke descending resistance here. Too many lines on the screen. I don't want to confuse you. You see this dark gray line? We broke the descending line of resistance. We were above the 10 simple moving average. You know, and in the past, history doesn't rhyme, or history doesn't repeat, but it often likes to rhyme. My inclination was to say as early as by March, we could have seen a large move up. We did not get that. We got quite the opposite, a move down. So the question we have to ask ourselves is the chart falling apart, or is there just further consolidation and weeding out taking place in this chart before there's a massive move to the upside? I put my money where my mouth is. I'm invested in this one, and I hold a significant amount, and nothing has changed about that. So as bearish as this monthly candle closes, I don't like to see that. Still uber bullish on the long-term prospects of this thing appreciating massively in value. Now, one thing that could play out here, we'll have to see when the June candlestick opens. This is on Bittrex. There's something going on with Bittrex. They must close at a different time. What I don't like is us hanging out at these lower levels, right? This is our low here in November. We hit a low of the 0.614 cent area. We're hanging out at 0.752. I really don't want to start breaking 0.7 cents. Because then you're talking about going down to these lower price levels. So let's try to relatively maintain price levels where we're at. Nothing to report on the RSI significant. We're hanging out at 45, but let's look at the MACD. Again, keep in mind that as bearish as this monthly closes for Digibyte is one of these bipolar charts. I mean, literally, it would not surprise me at all in June to get some sort of bullish engulfing candle and close up here towards, 1.2 or 1.5 cents. That would not surprise me. But I got to call a spade a spade. This is not a bullish monthly close, and I don't like to see where it's at right now. Now, the MACD, we don't have the June candlestick here. Okay, here we go. Not enough price data. And that's why I have it on Bittrex, because I want to get as much price data as I can. I want the damn June candlestick up, and I can't get it. Well, we'll have to see how the MACD is. The one positive thing I would say with Digibyte here is the MACD is, you can see the histogram. I mean, you can see it's turning light red here, right? We're getting real close to crossing, but we got to work our way up here. Okay, it's going to take us, let's be realistic, it's going to take us several months to get above this zero trigger line. Again, this could be something where, depending how bullish the price action is on Digibyte, you might not get a MACD cross above the zero trigger line until somewhere around September, maybe even October, right? So we just have to remain patient. Let's look at 3 more charts here. Thank you for everyone new tuning in. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button for everyone new tuning in. I appreciate the support. Total on the 5-minute going crazy. Yeah, we're not going to be looking at that, Evan. We're not looking at the 5-minute chart today. Okay, so what is going on in Bitcoin dominance, right? We've invalidated the descending triangle / bear pennant that I had drawn. I could probably just take this off since that pattern has been invalidated. Right now, I mean, we are just consolidating in this range. Are we going to break up, like a lot of people think, for one more burst and then crash down? Or are we just going to start crashing down? It is anyone's educated guess, to be honest with you. But looking at this as we always do in an unbiased fashion and looking at the price indicators, I will say momentum is certainly picking up on the MACD here. Let's take a look at the stochastic RSI actually. Stochastic RSI actually has a negative cross down, although that might not mean too much. And let's look at the RSI. Let's try to take an educated guess in terms of what... I will take an educated guess and tell you what I think is going to happen. RSI is at actually a pretty healthy level, pretty neutral level at 52. Where have we capped out on the RSI? 59, 60. So it looks like 60, you know... The RSI still historically has room to run to the upside. So the RSI is at a neutral level. Historically, it could run up towards 60. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. MACD is picking up momentum here, getting closer and closer to getting above the 0 trigger line. So that's important to keep in mind. Let's go to a smaller time frame and see if we can see anything, because I want to try to make a judgment call on this. Okay, so something else that I'm seeing, something else that I would display on this chart, sort of have this pole and a pennant. Okay, so this could be a bull pennant, implying a further move to the upside. Let's see if we're not going to look any more granular than that. So potential bull flag here. The other thing I would point out on this chart, there's an area of resistance here that's gotten hit several times, okay? Anytime, it's similar commentary down here. Anytime we hit support down here multiple times, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. Anytime we continue to hit resistance, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. So I would say that there is a very solid likelihood that we could see a jump in Bitcoin dominance, which would kind of fit the narrative that Bitcoin is going to run before the altcoins. Maybe we get a jump up to, let's try to guesstimate where we could go up to. Maybe we go as high as 58%, okay, up to this level here. This is an area of price confluence around 58. So we could jump up maybe to 58%. At which point the RSI could top out. You could see dominance drop off as altcoins are running. Again, keep in mind, someone asked me this question, I think it was DT the other day. We have a floor here that has been hit once, twice, thrice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This thing has been hit 7 times, okay? The next time Bitcoin dominance comes down to this area at around 39%, it's going to break, okay? I would be willing to bet some Satoshis on that one. And then you're talking about heading towards our all-time low on dominance at 35%. Again, my suspicions and my educated guess is when we have our final blow off top and altcoins are really running, you're going to see a new all-time low in Bitcoin dominance, suggesting that altcoins are gobbling up an even larger percentage of the market capitalization. You're going to have monumental runs in the altcoin market. And I would suspect we're going to get down to the mid to low 20% range on Bitcoin dominance. So we'll have to see how that plays out. The DXY, the dollar index, this is very critical to understand what's going on, because the strength of the dollar and the strength of the crypto markets are inversely related. If we have a lot of strength in the dollar, there's not a lot of strength in crypto and the asset and the equity markets. If there's a lot of weakness, there's a lot of strength in crypto and equity markets. And you can see every time we've had a massive downtrend here, this is when we've had massive runs in the crypto market. Well, we've had a significant drop here. We're under a key moving average here, which is the 10 moving average on the monthly. Anytime we've been under the 10 moving, you can see anytime we've been under the moving average, we've faced a significant drop from that moving average. Let's have some fun on the spot here. Let's see historically in the past, how far have we fallen from that moving average? Once we've closed below it, okay, here we fell about 11%. Here we fell 9%. Okay, so let's take the average. Let's say we fall 10%, right? Let's just say we do something relatively on par with what we've done in the past. So here we fell below. And if we fall 10%, you're talking about, and actually that is hysterical, because 95 is actually an area of price confluence. Look at that. This is a key area of price confluence. That's funny. Funny how numbers work. You can see price confluence. Once you're above it, it stays above it. Once you get below it, you can't get above it. Yeah. So 95 is actually an area of price confluence. Could the dollar, the DXY, plummet further towards 95? I actually think there's a case to be made. I believe we talked about this earlier, that we could fall. I mean, I'm looking at 92 and kind of reassessing at that point. But right now, there's definite weakness in the DXY, continues to show. We've had a cross down on the MACD, stochastic RSI, 24 under 29, which is great. It's a negative cross. Again, it's great that this is bearish. It's good for equity markets. I anticipate the S&P going to new all-time highs. I anticipate crypto going to new all-time highs. If those things are going to happen in a historical context, we need the DXY, the dollar index, to be weak. Okay, so this is good that this is bearish, just so everyone understands that. RSI is still at a neutral level at 55. It's actually at a pretty healthy level at 56. But stochastic, what we want to see, continue to cross down here, MACD. And you know what, stochastic RSI, I like that you're crossing down, but get below 20. I want this thing to be, I want there to be no momentum. I want this thing to get under that trigger line at 20, okay? So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if history rhymes, doesn't repeat but rhymes. We get around a 10% correction. If we do go down to 92, it's not unreasonable. That's about a 13% correction. We've had 11 and 9 before, so that wouldn't be unreasonable either. So we will keep an eye on it. Last chart. Thank you for everyone new tuning in. I'm curious, is there anyone on the live stream? Is there anyone on the live stream that is brand new to the channel? I'm very, very curious. I know I have a lot of faithful followers that I am monumentally appreciative of, but I'm curious if there's anybody new. Last thing I want to take a look at is the S&P. We need the S&P to do well. Because right now, crypto is a risk-on asset. Crypto is just blanketed as one industry, and it's a risk-on asset. So people are not going to want to invest in risky assets if the stock market is tanking. Intuitively, that should make sense. So I've pointed out a key moving average here. It looks like it's same moving average we've looked at on the weekly chart, but it's the 21 EMA. You can see when we've been above it, it's been good. When we've been below it, it hasn't been good. You can see we were closing down in these levels here, but since we've regained price levels above the 21 exponential moving average on a closing monthly basis, we've maintained levels above the 21 exponential moving average, which is very bullish to see. Now, do I have price indicators? Let's see here. This is irrelevant. Let's look at the MACD. Let's look at that MACD. Gotta turn up the AC. It's a little fucking hot in here. My God. Anybody good practice? By the way, real quick before we take a look at the MACD, good practice, guys. I don't know if you do this, but during the day, now I don't know where you're located, but in general, it's good during the day to have your home temperature at sort of a room temperature, comfortable, not cold, not hot. So I keep it typically around 77 in my place during the day, but at night I crank that AC all the way down to 74 or 73. You need it chilly. You need it chilly at night. Your body actually sleeps better if it's cold versus fucking having the AC. If it's 77 degrees in your place, you're not going to sleep as well. So you actually get better quality sleep under colder conditions. So just a little tidbit of information there for you. Didn't know if you knew that. MACD is looking good. Look what's going on. First off, this is on a monthly basis. And again, because this is on a monthly basis, this is a higher time frame. I thought I saw something on my computer there. This is on a higher time frame. And so the fact that the MACD has maintained itself above zero is very bullish. Now, look what also is going on. We've been, massive downtrend, right? We've flattened. We're about to kiss. The S&P is about to make out. I could make some jokes, but I'm not going to. Cheesy jokes. No, this is if June comes in as a bullish month, we're gonna get some green histograms coming in here, and we're gonna get a bullish cross here on the MACD. Very, very good to see. So I don't know if you can tell this yet, but I'm very, very excited for the month of June. Okay, June has the potential to be a massively bullish month. So very good to see on the MACD. RSI is at a very healthy level at 54. We have plenty of room to run to the upside. Let's take a very quick look at the stochastic RSI to also help to tell us how much strength and momentum is coming into the S&P. Look at that. Look at this thing. We're well above the 20 trigger line, 65 over 48, very healthy. S&P looks great. And I've signaled to you guys before, if you, hopefully no one on this channel, you guys know this. Mina, glad to have you. Glad that you identified yourself as a new viewer. I appreciate having you in here, and I hope you find the information informative. I hope everyone finds the information informative. If you want to focus on the news headlines, your head will be spinning. You can focus on every headline that you want to focus on, okay? I think it's important to stay well informed about what's going on in the world around us. But when all of those things begin to encompass our emotional state, and we begin to make irrational decisions because we're emotional human beings, this is where your investment portfolio can get destroyed. All in the charts is the live stream for a reason. The data is telling us, thank you, Mina. The data is telling us what is most and least likely. Let's use past data, let's use current data, and let's assess what is most likely moving forward. I am an actuary, I'm a data scientist. This is what I do all fucking day, okay? This is the most intuitive thing to do. And what this chart is telling me is that it is very healthy in the midst of a turnaround. And I've signaled to you guys 43, I think it's 43.25, 43.25. Once we get above 43.25, that is a big victory. We've taken out this lower high here, okay? Now we're on our road to these levels here up towards 4,600. I think once on a candle body closing basis on the monthly, and for that matter, really on a weekly basis, once you see the S&P, and if you don't read charts, this is what you want to pay attention to. When you see the S&P sustaining levels above 43.25, have a mini celebration, just a mini one. Don't get too excited. We haven't broken the all-time highs, but have a mini celebration, because I will tell you, back during this time period, it was the end of the world. Bitcoin 5,000, Bitcoin 10,000, the S&P's going to 2,800. Everybody was fucking calling for it. Do you not remember this, okay? Was I calling for that? Was I saying that? I don't recall that. I don't think so. Go back to my videos from October of 2022 and see what I was talking about for Bitcoin and the rest of the stock market. It is important to learn from history, and everything in these charts right now, everything that we have just covered should be telling you that we've been in the midst and we continue to be in the midst of a massive turnaround. Okay, and again, the last point I would leave you with, it's not just about having a massive turnaround. But if we're really going to see that all-time high for Bitcoin come in this year at the levels that I've spoken to, June needs to be a solid month. I shared with you, if June doesn't come in as solid as I would have, as I'm anticipating, then I need to revise my view on things. Well, we set a new all-time high this year. If we set a new all-time high, what's a realistic price level? Or is this thing going to really bleed into the early part of 2024? So June cannot highlight this enough. June is a critical month. So we will see how the month of June kind of closes out, or how it develops. But let me see, we're in June. June closes out on a Friday. So maybe on June 30th, we will do this again at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You and I will have a little date on a Friday night, and maybe I'll have that one I would have a drink with you for on a Friday night. We'll have a little late happy hour. But yeah, thank you for joining for the live stream. I hope I was able to help educate you and keep you well informed of a holistic macro perspective of the market. If you did appreciate the content, make sure to share it with at least one person. I will be live at my normal time tomorrow, between 5 and 6 Eastern Standard Time. We'll go through. I know I haven't had a chance to do TA Q&A like I typically do. I promise you that the majority of the live stream will be open to you. Any charting questions you have, anything you want me to chart, let's take a look at it. So until tomorrow, spread awareness, carry the education forward, and I will see you back tomorrow between 5 and 6 Eastern Standard Time. Have a good evening or good morning to DT. Good start to the day. Have a good rest of your day, guys.